everyone, this is me, the fabulous Leo Brown, and I'm back once again with my psychic perspective. Thank you so much for you guys liking, sharing, subscribing, and rating and commenting on my videos. It means a lot. It really, really does. So I see that you guys are really liking the psychic perspective videos, though. So that means a great, great deal to me. I have to admit, this video that I'm about to do, I've been debating it really. This and one other one, but the other one I don't think I'm gonna do a video on, like a psychic perspective video. I think I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it. But this video I really debated doing because I don't want to seem like I'm just doing this just cause. I mean, we live in the age of social media where people see something that is quote unquote newsworthy or, you know, whatever. That's a hot topic and we jump on it. We live in the age of the TMZs of the world. And that's no different. I mean, there are a lot of YouTube channels that are like that. So, and trust me, I subscribe to a few. I used to be, but after a while it kind of got boring because all you're doing is regurgitating what we already know. So, anywho, I came on here to talk about Tyrese Gibson. So I really wanted to get my perspective on that. But like I said, I debated it because, my thing is I don't like to kick people while they're down. I don't like to, you know, be that way. I'm not that kind of person. I don't have that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm human like everybody else, but I don't want to be like, well, I'm just gonna capitalize on this person's suffering when you don't know the full story. But I decided to give my take on it. And Mr. Gibson, if you ever see this video, I hope that it's a good help for you. I hope that it makes sense and it provides you some clarity. So, but before I go into what I feel and what I pick up psychically for Mr. Gibson, I'm going to give my take on the thing. I'm going to give my little opinion. So here's my little opinion on it. Personally, I'm kind of on the fence. I feel bad for him, but then I don't. Because Tyrese has been known to have many, many, many antics in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood too. And oftentimes, like I always say, when you burn a bridge, you don't burn bridges on your own. Somebody has to either give you the matches and the lighter fluid, or you have to have them already in your possession. And I think with him, concerning this whole thing, because basically what's been going on, for those of you who don't know, he had a breakdown via social media. He went on Facebook and basically poured his heart out and was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know what? I'm not even gonna go into it. I'm gonna let the video speak for itself. Take a look.
The men that wake up every day, to focus on one thing. Don't take my baby, please. Don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. Oh, this is all I got. This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just want my baby, and no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything illegal. But I don't want nobody. Oh my God, am I doing something illegal by doing this video, or am I protected by the First Right Amendment or the amendment? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. my Shayla. And ain't nobody showing up for me. I got all these millionaire friends. I got billionaire friends. I've been there for you. Why nobody's there for me? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. That's what I gotta do, baby. This is for you. This is for everybody, every man out there who's presented facts like me. Okay? I'm a married man. I've moved on with my life. I do not hate her mother. Because if I hate her mother, then that's saying a lot about how I feel about my own daughter. You can decide to make this about woman versus man. If that's the theme, that's going to be something that you come with. That's not what I don't hate you, Norma. I don't know why you hate me, but I don't hate you. But you just can't wake up on September 11th and just decide to accuse me of doing something that I didn't do. And I haven't been able to say anything. Oh my God, I never cry. Let me ask all my niggas out there. Let me ask my niggas that really know me. Listen to me. JJ, Siege Monstrosity. Who else? This is called, I learned a lot in court. Oh my God, this is called character. This is called a character check. Let me talk about character. Let me talk about my manager, Jerome Martin, who's really my father. I didn't have a father, but let me talk about my father, Jerome Martin. I love you, Jerome. What I know about my life and what I know about business and class and sophistication, and I know I'm not perfect. I know I piss people off all the time, but rather you you think of me and yet some of y'all are like, oh, he got the ugly cry face. I do got the ugly cry face. I'm sorry. Oh, he's got the ugly cry face. You motherfucking right. I look ugly when I cry because I'm crying for my baby. And if they doing this shit to me, if they taking my baby, or because she wakes up and decides on September 11th, this is what I feel like saying about Tyrese. Nobody wants to hire me, Norma. Congratulations. Oh my God. Clear, guys. Stay very, very clear. You got a job to do. To troll, to create whatever concepts that you have in mind. I understand he's charming. I understand he's handsome. I understand he's got muscles. I understand he keeps orchestrating for random 10-year-olds to wait outside of his trailer with signs that he put in their hands. I understand he uses steroids. Guys, listen. At the end of the day, he's a man first. Okay? And I'm a man first. And we had a man to man. And he went back on his word. And for that, if my daughter don't matter.
Okay, so as you saw in the video, he completely just broke down. And my thoughts on this is, number one, I don't care if there was a regular Joe or somebody who was quote unquote rich and famous. No one should lose their child. But here's the but in that. But at the same token in time, the video really doesn't help his cause, in my opinion. It kind of makes him look a little emotionally, not mentally, but emotionally unstable. He looks tired. He looks stressed. He looks like he's been going through some stuff. He looks depressed. There have been allegations that he's been abusive towards the mother of his child, that he was abusive towards his child. I think something to that effect. I'm not 100% sure, but that's why they're going through this battle right now. That's partly why. And then if you really go back and if you follow him on social media, he would say a lot of things on Twitter that were very just odd. Threatening to quit the Fast and the Furious franchise, making statements about Dwayne Johnson or The Rock, as some of us know him, making statements about black women that were very derogatory and very degrading, and preferring lighter skinned women, uh, over black women, just saying a lot of things that really I think now are coming to bite him in the ass, and unfortunately nobody in the industry wants to really touch him now because of all the antics that are going on. But not only that, but because prior, and even if you go back to like when he was with Genuine the Tank, when they did TGT, I think that was what it called. That's what it was called, TGT. When they did Tank Genuine, yeah, that's right, TGT. When he was in that group, even then, he made statements and said things. And unfortunately, I think this is just a lot of, I won't say it's karma, but I think a lot of what he's done in the past, I think it's certainly starting to come to light now, which is sad. I mean, I think that he should have tried to make amends. I think that he should have been an adult about it and handled this, in particular, this instance, in a more mature fashion. But enough about what I think. I'm going to give my psychic perspective on this now because I really want to, help him. I think he's a human being. Tyrese Gibson, you're a human being like everyone else. You have flaws, you have faults, you're not perfect. And I don't mean any of the things I'm saying with maliciousness in my heart. I don't have that for you. I don't even know you. But I wish you the best. And yeah, I hope that you get the healing and the help that you deserve and that you need. Because there's some deep rooted stuff here. It's not just about the daughter. I think the daughter is just the catalyst for what's going on. But we'll see. Here's my psychic perspective. So sit back, relax, and I'll be back soon.
I need your forgiveness.
Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to start with what will help you, Mr. Gibson, on what you're going through. What's going to help you right now? I got the here font in reverse. So what this is telling me is that instead of you retreating and kind of going, for those of you who don't know, this is the wounded healer. And the wounded healer basically is someone, they're like the empath of the world. They take on other people's stuff and they don't heal themselves. They heal everybody else. And I think, even if you watch the video, he even talks about how he has all these famous friends, but he has no help. Right now, what I get will help him is him reaching out. Because the one thing that's stopping you from what I'm picking up is pride. You really are a very prideful person. You don't like to receive help if you can help it. Because I feel like you kind of know that you may owe favors to people and you don't want to deal with that right now. But what will help you in this situation is you really need to reach out. Stop holding all your pain and anger, and not just with your child, but there's some stuff even going back to, I don't know how old Tyrese is, but I get a lot to do with his early, like between 22 and 20, like 28, 29. There are some things that happened in his life that he's never gotten through. He's never dealt with. And I feel like the whole custody of his daughter, that's just the tip. There's some deep seated issues here, deep rooted stuff that you really need to get a hold on. I get a lot to do with addiction issues. I get a lot to do with, something to do with your mom. I feel like your mother's involved in this, or your childhood. There's some issues there. Your late teens. Yeah, there's some stuff going on there. So get some much needed help, because here's what you're not doing. You're not retreating. You are, but you're cutting off the wrong people. And that's not helping you. That's not helping your career. That's not helping you function, especially mentally and emotionally. So, okay. And this kind of makes sense because the card that I'm getting with where you are now is the Page of Swords. So if you look at this card is basically about somebody who they're being a bit petty. They're being a bit, they even though you are speaking some truth, it's peppered with a lot of bit of allegations and accusations, and you kind of need to slow down on that. But you're kind of on a roll right now with it because you're like, well, I might as well talk about it. Who the fuck cares? Which I kind of get when you're upset, but that's not helping your case at all. At all. So back away from your computer, back away from Twitter, back away from social media for a minute. Like, you need to calm down because that's not gonna help you. That's not helping your cause. And I feel like a lot of what I'm getting around you is mental stress. You really are under a lot of mental stress, coupled with there's been a lot of confrontation, there's been a lot of arguments, not just with um, your child's mother, but I get a lot to do with executives. I get a lot to do with contracts around you too. Um, I kind of feel like financially you might be tied up in some stuff that you don't want to be in anymore. So there's a lot going on there. And that was my Facebook ding for those of you wondering. Um, Here's your main problem. It's more than just she's taking away your child. That's part of it. But a lot of it is, it's not just that, it's money, it's a sense of security, it's a sense of family, it's a sense of home. And you feel as if that's take everything you've been working for and working towards is being taken away. I think you feel as if you're trying to mature, you're trying to be on a grown man's level, but at the same time, I'm just gonna be honest. There are times where you do have a mentality of somebody that's like 17, and I don't think you mean to do that, but that's just where you are. And I feel like the woman that you're with, she understood that, but she didn't read between the lines. I think she knew what she was getting into, and she was more entranced. She was more entranced by what that you were Tyrese more than that you're Tyrese the person. And more entranced by the success that you have, and that's been an issue too. Because I feel like really deep down, you're a very vulnerable person outside of the limelight. You're actually very vulnerable and very emotional and quite shy, believe it or not. But I think this particular person, and I'm not trying to paint her out to be a bad person because she's not. She just, it's like anything. You just don't. Sometimes you don't see the forest despite the trees. You just don't see it. And I think in this, she didn't see that. I think they both went into it with good intentions. They both went into their marriage with good intentions, but the foundation just wasn't there. The relationship, the foundation of it, it just is not solid. It's very weak. And that's mainly because I feel that neither one of them, especially, I get more so from him than her. They don't know how to open up emotionally. They know it's like a person knowing the difference between sex and intimacy. There's some issues there. So, and I also get with you too. There's some contractual issues here too. Um, you, I get you may be in debt. I want to say in the next 2 months or so, 2 to 6, we're gonna start hearing about the money that you owe to certain things and how your money's tied in certain stuff, and contractually you're bound and gagged to certain things. And so when he's saying in that video that he's almost broke, he's not lying. I mean, there's some stuff going on that we the public don't know, that I'm getting. Yeah, I want to say 2 to 6 months. We're gonna hear that he might be broke. That he might be, if he's not broke, he owes money. Because I keep seeing him going to court, and it may be going to court over his child, but also him going to court because of contractual obligations too. And he may put out 2 more albums too. So just saying, because I know you said that that you were retired from music. I know you said that, but you may end up going back to it because you have no choice. Okay, and let's focus on the past a little bit. So what this is telling me is that you have a tendency to, this is the 501. So basically what this is telling me is that you don't think, you just act. Which, that's not always a bad thing, but in this case, that's where you fucked up. I'm just gonna be real with you. That's where you messed up. You didn't think this through. Because here's the thing I get with the woman that you're dealing with. She promised you this. She promised you the world. She promised you a palace, but you ended up being in a pit. And you saw what you wanted to see. You didn't think it through. You just went forward because she was, and I'm just gonna be real, because she was pretty. And she was what you thought you wanted. I'm gonna say this too. I feel like she's using you for money. There's a lot here though, because I definitely pick up that even with you, you have a bit of a temper. You can be very volatile when you don't get your way, and I feel like you guys have kind of like it's like a passionate dysfunction. You make love, you fight, and you make love. It really isn't a difference. Um, but from what I'm picking up, you've dealt with this in the past. This has always been your Achilles heel. You've dealt with women, not just women, but even in business. You'll just go into it and just and don't think about it. You think about the end result. You don't think about the process. And I think life is trying to show you, like, look, you have to stop doing this. You have to stop. You have to think things through. You have to plan things out. And yes, we don't always like that, and especially men, we don't. We don't. I myself, I'm like that. I'm very much like this, so I get it. But in terms of your career, in terms of personal, there we go. I'm sorry. In terms of personal life, you have to start thinking things through, and you have to start listening to your intuition, your gut. You don't listen to it enough. You really don't. You listen to hangers on, people who basically kiss your ass. You don't listen to real friends, which is why oftentimes your real friends are not around you like you would like them to be, because you don't mean to, but you end up pushing your real friends away. So the final card that I have for Mr. Gibson is the Three of Cups. So this card is a good thing. This is more so like a celebration, a time of relief. So what this is telling me is that, and this normally indicates, I would say by the next 8 months or so, things are gonna start to look better for him. He'll be a lot better. He'll be getting the help that he needs. A lot of this is gonna be private, but I do see that. I see him becoming kind of, I don't know if he is already, but I see him becoming very spiritual. Very, because I kind of get him being almost like a preacher or becoming preachy. Um, so yeah, I do see things improving and getting better for him. Uh, I don't know if he and the wife are going to get back together, but I think there's going to be a point where they may co-parent and they'll become, more so friends than enemies right now. So he's going to be all right. You're not going to always be where you are right now. You're just going through a lot. And what I pick up around you is that you're realizing a lot. A lot of what I'm getting to is that you're realizing what you sacrificed over the years to be where you are. And now that you kind of are where you are, the people that you thought you would have around are no longer around. And you feel very much alone. You feel very much isolated. So that's what I'm getting regarding this whole thing. But I do see him getting better. And I want to say we're gonna start to see things get better with him. I would say around April. But I want to say but then 4 months after that, that's when things are gonna start to get a lot better because we're in November now. So December, January, February, March. Yeah. So by March, April, we'll start to see him start to get better and be more open and talk about what's going on with him, what was really going on, and what caused it. A lot of people are saying that he may be acting, that he's trying to get sympathy. And I kind of get a mix. I kind of get like yes and no. Part of him is doing it to raise awareness of what's going on with him. But then I also feel like part of it is doing it because he wants people to be like, look, he wants sympathy. He wants people to come to his aid because he feels like nobody really is listening to him. Nobody's really going there with him. So, yeah, I think there's some things going, but there's some deep rooted issues here that you really need to resolve. And it has, granted, she's part of the issue, but she's not the whole thing. There's some deep rooted issues with your. I feel like with your mom, there's some stuff going on with that you really need to look into, and you need to examine either your childhood, because I keep getting like your teens going into your 20s, and when you just started becoming successful and making, yeah, you're dealing with a lot of that. It's almost like your inner child is coming out and you're screaming to be heard because I kind of get a sense of abandonment around you. So that, yeah, I may be lying, I may be wrong, I may be off my rocker, but for some reason, that's what I keep receiving. So that's my perspective on this whole thing with Tyrese. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I want to know, what do you think about it? Leave me your comments below. I do read them. And until next time, darlings, it is me, the fabulous Leo Brown. And Tyrese, I hope you get the help you need. I hope you get the healing that you deserve. Because if you truly are suffering, you shouldn't do this by yourself. You shouldn't be alone. And I keep getting that this is like a mix of so many different things, but I definitely think that it's a cry for help. So I definitely suggest get the help that you need for your own preservation. Don't worry about the fans. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself and your children, and that's it. Okay, and get your finances in order because you're gonna need it. All right. Talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye bye.